I might have to direct you back over to my State of the City, which I did in November. So I'll have to make sure next year you get invited to that. But thank you for the question. I mean, it has been, obviously, we were into our second year of a pandemic, which has been devastatingly impactful to I think most of us can say we've been impacted by the pandemic in some ways, but for many people in our community, it has been even more devastating and impactful. So, but despite that, I think the city of North Vancouver has actually done fairly well in enabling, in being able to advance many of the things that my council and myself have as our priority. So if you don't know, council adopted, just a little context, council adopted in our first 9 months of being elected the first ever strategic plan in the city of North Vancouver for a council. So our vision is to be the healthiest small city in the world. And so we have 5 sort of objectives where we really focus on city for people, because you can't, as much as, we are here to deliver infrastructure and deliver programs and services, really cities are about people and the very people who make up our community. So we're focused on people. We're focused on being a connected city, which is really around the way in which we are moving to, through, and from the city. So it's really all about the transportation and active transportation. We're looking at being a living city. So in terms of our natural environment, a prosperous city, and then a very vibrant city. So really focuses on our public and open spaces, our arts and cultural communities. And so over this past year, so despite COVID, we've actually been able to achieve quite a lot. And so this past year, what we saw was we implemented a number of policies that continued. So we allowed we've advanced a number of initiatives around housing. So delivering on a number of new housing forms, a lot more around rental housing, really focused on policy development around strengthening when people are being displaced out of their homes because of redevelopment, and policies around strengthening rent eviction. So people can't be, being displaced out of housing because people are saying they're renovating when in fact they're not. So we've done a lot around that. We've looked at different forms of housing. So not just, market, but all the way down to non-market. So one of the pieces of infrastructure that we've advanced is the redevelopment of the North Shore Neighborhood House. And so that's a very large social service agency, but this is a project that has actually 3 other nonprofit agencies. So we'll have a brand new North Shore Neighborhood House. We will be delivering the most amount of non-market housing in a generation in the city when this project goes forward. We have seniors care, respite care, and then more non-market housing. So that's one. We finally have, we are breaking ground on the Harry Jerome Community Recreation Center at the end of the month. So that is moving forward. In terms of transportation, we've advanced a number of policy initiatives, as well as launched the first ever electric bike share in British Columbia. We've added to our walkability infrastructure, and I am part of North Shore Connects, which the 3 North Shore municipalities, including our 2 First Nation governments, are involved in. And our priority right now is delivering rapid transit across the Burrard Inlet. In terms of our prosperity, in terms of economic development, we have our economic development strategy will be coming out shortly, really looking at how we can foster and support our small and medium-sized businesses, but how we're also going to be looking at having business. We want to attract business and investment into the city. And then finally, we have a well-being strategy that's coming out, which will focus on, obviously, again, people and how we're supporting people in the community. And we opened the new museum, which is another piece of public infrastructure that we did. The Shipyards has won numerous awards over this past year. And our environmental and climate strategy, it will also be coming out in the next couple of months.